my friends, in today's video I'm going to show you how to boot from a USB drive in Samsung laptops. Turn on the computer, press F2. You're going to enter to the BIOS, go to boot, enter in boot device priority, hit enter, go to your USB drive, my USB there was Kioshia, transfer memory, and press F5, no, which is F6, press F6. Now we are prioritizing the Kioshia USB drive, USB, and the internal MSATA SSD was in the second. When you prioritize the USB drive, hit F10 to save the changes and press yes. Now she's won't work because she didn't boot from our USB drive, she's boot from the internal SSD. I'm going to show you where is the problem. Turn it off again. Turn on laptop, press F2, we are in the BIOS, go to the boot, enter to the boot device priority, enter. What you are going to do now, the laptop boot from the SSD because of the secure boot. So to make them boot from the USB, go to your second boot option, which is SSD, now our internal SSD, go to it like that and press shift 1 like that, shift 1. You will see I don't know what we will call it. I think she's whatever, you will see this thing there, which is disabled boot from this SSD, from this device. She means disabled boot from this device there. Again, shift F1, press shift F1, shift 1, doesn't shift F1, shift 1 like that, shift 1 and F10 to save our changes, hit enter. Now she's gonna boot from our USB. I have their Ventoy and the Ubuntu server. I can now boot from my USB. If that didn't work for you, I will show you other steps we need to do to turn off or to disable the secure boot on your laptop. Go to security and set a supervisor password. If they didn't give you this option there, which is shift F1, shift 1 to disable boot from your SSD, internal SSD, you need to set a supervisor password. Go to security, set supervisor password, enter. Give it a easy password to remember it and to pretend yourself and forget it. I will give it 4 A's, enter, 4 A's, enter. Okay, you will see there supervisor password set, user password clear. We will going to set all these passwords. The supervisor password was set. We will going to set now the user password. I will use the same password for A, enter A. Okay, you will see there set. I will set the HDD or the SSD password too for A's to the same password. Let's password on boot. I will enable it and F10 to save changes and yes. Give it your password for A's enter. Now you can boot from your USB device like that. When you boot from your USB device and install what you want to install, Windows or Linux or whatever, install it on your internal SSD and then back to the BIOS and enable booting from your SSD. Go to your BIOS, enter to the booting priorities, go to your SSD and hit Shift 1 to disable or to enable booting from your internal SSD. So now my laptop she's booting from the external USB drive. Waiting until she's finished, or I will turn it off like that. Please remove the installation drive and hit enter like that. Now I will go and back to the BIOS, press Fn, F2, give it our password. You don't need to set the supervisor password, but if she didn't give you the Shift 1 option, then set the supervisor password to give you this option. Now, after you install your operating system that you want to install in your internal SSD, you need to enable booting from your SSD. Go to the boot device priority, enter. Go down to your SSD and Shift 1 to make it boot from your SSD to enable booting from your SSD, and hit F10 to save changes, enter, and then they will boot from our internal SSD. Yeah, she's asked us for our because we set the password for our internal SSD. They ask us to give them the password, which is for A's in my case. Hit enter and they will boot from my internal SSD. I have the Ubuntu server installed. That's it for today's video. See you soon, guys.